We are really inching to the real item that we have for today's program, the crescendo points. That's where we are getting into now, ladies and gentlemen. We have seen the profile of our incoming group managing director. At this point, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to kindly invite to step forward the group managing director and the incoming group managing director for the ceremonial handing over session of today's event. This is a very key part of today's ceremony, and I want us all to just watch with keen interest and attention. I will. Please, let's have this part well captured, please. Thank you. Thank you very much. Please put your hands together. Put your hands together. That's a very great ceremony going on there.
And there you have the high point of today's event, the handing over, the formal handing over happening there, a change in the ranks, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Mekanti Baru handing over officially to Mr. Mele Kyari as the new group managing director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation.
To also kindly unveil the compendium here, and it is after the handshake. The GMD will officially unveil the compendium, and the compendium is the 1,099 days performance profile of Dr. Mekanti Baru. Please put your hands together very well as this is done. Thank you very much. Don't be in a hurry. We shall ensure that this compendium gets to the appropriate quarters after this event. You will have it if you really deserve it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And one very important event again that will take place now. We are going to watch it very, very quickly. It's the capping. The capping. The GMD will now cap the incoming GMD with this highly revered cap. This is very, very important, please. Just watch them and allow a little space, please. Allow a little space. Let's watch this great event.
Another big event happening right there. This cap, a lot of talk about this particular cap. Chief Marinho, who's the very first group managing director of Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation. In July of 1977, he actually served between July 77 to 1980. And he's the one who started this tradition. And it is one that has continued over the years. And now that cap has been given to Mr. Mele Kyari by Mr. Mekanti Baru, signifying that he is now, with all the traditions observed, the new group managing director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation.
Congratulations, please, gentlemen, rise and put your hands together for our new group managing director. Please give him a resounding standing ovation, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, please. Thank you very much. Please, can we now have our seats? We want to thank you all for being part of today's event. Can we please have our seats now? Because we will have one very important event now. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to, at this point, with so much respect, invite to the podium our brand new Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Malam Mele Kolo Kyari. James, sir.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you can see that this cap is not fitting into my head. And the reason is very simple. We didn't have multiple options. And there's something that is missing in my CV. I also went to Sangaya School. And in Sangaya School, one of the many things that you have to do is to learn how to make a cap. And I know how to make one. So what I promise you, GMD and GMD Emeritus Marine Home, is that I will come back, I'll get you 5 pieces of this cap in different sizes so that whoever you appoint as GMD will have a cap that will fit into his head. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I have the temptation not to go through protocols. It's very difficult to avoid it at this point in time. Therefore, permit me, ladies and gentlemen, to recognize that His Excellency Governor Kyari, who is also the chairman of Governors Forum, and as we're all aware, NNPC is a company that is owned by 180 plus million people. Every one of us here is a shareholder in this company. What that means is that, the Governors Forum, or the governors and the chief executive of the state, the chairman of local government, the members of the National Assembly, and all of us constitute some form of the board of this company. And therefore, the presence of Governor Kyari is an indication that this company is going to engage its stakeholders, a major shareholder in this company. And in addition to that, we have the array of our former group managing directors, including the gentleman that recruited me, Dr. Yonti John. And I have the real privilege of working with nearly all the group managing directors past, except those who came before Dr. M.T. John. And I have the real privilege of having an engagement with them, working for them. And therefore, I'm privileged to say that today, Dr. Mekatu, as we honor you, I also have the privilege of having my past sitting in front of me. And I also recognize that the Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Petroleum Resources is our supervisor. And therefore, in a sense, because NNPC is a company owned by the Federation, managed by the federal government, that should be very clear to all. The representative of the Federation is the Federal Ministry of Petroleum Resources. And therefore, I welcome the Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Petroleum Resources as representative of the owners of this company. They are also our colleagues in other institutions in the Petroleum Ministry, PEF, PPPRA. I've seen all of them, I know them personally, the Executive Director of PPPRA, PEF, PTDF, and all of them are here. I recognize your presence, and I completely acknowledge that we are going to need each other to work together so that we can deliver the oil and gas opportunities to our country. And I'm aware we have representatives of the child service chiefs, the Nigerian Navy, and the Nigerian Army, and particularly the Chief of Planning and Strategy of the Nigerian Army, General Nani Ali, who I know personally, is here. I welcome you, and please send our regards to the Chief of Army Staff and the Chief of Defense Staff. The chairman of EFCC left for unavoidable reason, and it is indicative of what is going to happen. Let me tell you, there will be no corruption where there is no discretion. Corruption is about discretion. You don't have discretion, nobody will give you money. Therefore, what it means is that we're going to work with EFCC to make sure that we take out discretion in our system. And it's very strange that you see the chairman of an anti-corruption agency attending a function at the retirement of the chief executive of a company who ordinarily people see it as a bad place. It means that this place has changed. And of course, my elder brother, former chairman of the Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission, and also the current representative of the Revenue Mobilization who are here with the player, acknowledge your presence. And there are many other people here, many of them, and including my teacher, Sheikh Ali Fantami and Madam and Sheikh Muhammad Saleh, the Imam of An-Nur Masjid. Acknowledge your presence, and it's very instructive that leadership is about trust. I recognize the difficulty of carrying the responsibility of being the group managing director of this company. And I know that leadership is tough, and I also know that there is an eternal accountability. I know that for every action I make, that is not just, that is not right, there is a final accountability that will respond to, which I'm always conscious of. And of course, gentlemen of the press, gone are the days where we see NNPC as a very opaque institution. NNPC will not be opaque. We have a responsibility to declare what it would do to the citizens of this country. It's their right. It's not an opportunity. It is not a, it's not a, what do I call it? It's not a favor that we are doing to the citizens. When we tell them, this is how we run your company, it's not a favor. So, gentlemen of the press, we are going to work with you. We'll be transparent to all. So that at the end of the day, we are going to build this company. We're not going to wait for you to tell us what we have done wrong. We're also not saying that we'll not make mistakes. We'll make mistakes, but we'll never make deliberate mistakes. And to members of my family, you have a tough job. They are here. I've seen my three children, and by the way, I have many children. I've adopted several. I have 2 sons, and I have adopted so many others that I also see them as my children. And many of them are here. For you, from today I'm making it public. If you accept gift from anyone, it's not from me. It's tough. So do not make gifts to my members of my family. They will have no influence over me. And for the leadership for the in-house unions, remember I'm the grand chairman. I have led Penderson. I went to the highest level, but I lost the election. I couldn't become the president. That was my ambition, was to become the president of Penderson. Unfortunately, I didn't make it. It's too late now. I can't make it anymore. But if they will make me, appoint me, I will gladly serve as the president of Penderson after completing my term as the general manager. And the executives of international oil companies, they are present here. We'll work with you. There are 2 things we have to do with you, which is to grow production, grow reserves, and also it should be beneficial to all. We're going to make it win-win. We're not saying that lose money and do business here. You should do business to make money, or you should make reasonable money. But we're not going to stop you from doing that. But we'll engage you to make sure that we deliver on that. And going forward, Dr. Mekanti Kachalabara, I'm a very privileged person. And let me say this, as he has kindly alluded to it. So let me expose it. When Dr. Mekanti Kachalabara called me and informed me that, Kyari, you are now the Group Managing Director of NNPC. By the way, from a very religious perspective, I have never raised my hands and asked God to make me the GMD. I did not. But I'm aware of the goodwill that I have, including some people here that I will not mention. But at the risk of also opening up on that, including the outgoing Group Managing Director, so I will only mention one, so I won't mention the rest. There are many of them here, I can see them. But I know that getting this opportunity can only come from God. I'm not sure I'm the best. I don't believe that. They are better educated, but I'm sure you have seen your careers. I only have a first degree. So I couldn't do a master's degree. So for whatever reason I can't explain. Maybe academic incapacity, I don't know. But I surely didn't go beyond a first degree. And I know in this company, you have at least 40 people with a PhD in NNPC. I know world-class engineers. I don't have the credentials of Dr. Baru. I didn't make grade 6 in my GC. Of course, I didn't do that. I didn't make a first class. I did a 2-1, so that's also... At least I've made the minimum cut-off point. But that tells you that leadership comes in two ways. One, you earn it, yes, in a way. But there's always a divine part of it. And God lines off the divine part for you. But I get to this point. And I remember in 1998, when we visited Napins, as I was the chairman of Bengasan, we visited Napins in 1997, I think. And the impression is that union people are leftovers. They are frustrated people. I've never seen myself as a frustrated person. And I told our members that every member of the union, every official has the potential to become the group managing director of this company. And the way to do this is to align with the organization so that you share the objectives of the organization, so that you drive the organization to delivery of its tasks, and therefore the unionism becomes a contribution rather than a challenge, and then your members get everything they will get. And I did succeed in doing that. I delivered the first consolidated salary to the workers of NSC, not because by force. I didn't go on any strike, by the way. I did not call any strike. But at the end of the day, today, I'm proud to say that my team at that time were able to deliver the consolidated salary scale to the NNPC staff, which all of us have benefited, including me. Therefore, Dr. Mekanti, I can say nothing more to you. I'm not going to say that you are a good man. Well, everybody has said this. What I will do for you is that at the end of this journey, I would like you to sit back and say that, yes, you have done the right thing. Which means that at the very beginning, we are going to focus on the expectations of Nigerians. Every Nigerian expects this company to be accountable, to be transparent, to be able to deliver petroleum products at no difficulty. They expect us to create employment for our country. They expect us to deliver on gas, so that at the end of the day, it becomes a national oil company that we're all proud of, just like its equivalent, Equinox, Aramco, and so on and so forth. Today, we're still grappling with the reality that this company did not. In the last 3 years, we have made significant strides. Progress. I'm proud to say that I'm part of many of the decisions that led to this. As a deep insider, I cannot take exception to anything that you are seeing today that has been enumerated during most of its stocks is today. And therefore, I guarantee you that we're going to take this forward. We're going to make this company a global company. With the best global best practices put in place, we will remove discretion. We will expand the frontier of engagement with our stakeholders, the National Assembly, the state governments, EITI, NIT, and all other institutions that are required to know what we are doing, that need to contribute to what we are doing, so that at the end of the day, this company becomes the proud national company that all of us are looking at, not just NNPC, that everybody's looking up to that. And for the global transparency community, I happen to be the anchor person for the engagements of NNPC with the EITI and NIT. I also happen to be the anchor person for the Open Government Partnership. It is a promise that we are going to become accountable to citizens. That's the essence of transparency, that you are accountable to the citizens, and we will be accountable to the citizens. And Honorable Juliet is here. We work with her. She is the head of the Nigeria OGP, Open Government Partnership. And what that means is that citizens will have access to what we're doing. Citizens will contribute to what we're doing. And we have started that. As I speak to you today, you can buy petroleum products from NNPC locations without going to our offices. So we have cut off all the discretion. Thank you, Dr. What is left is to take it from the gate into the tank, and we are going to do that in record time. At the end of the day, you will sit down on your bed as we do with Amazon.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the new Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, Mr. Mele Kolo Kyari, taking over from Mr. Mekanti Baru. And he comes off as a really strict one, given his very first speech as Group Managing Director. The watchword is discretion. He says there will be no corruption where there is no discretion, and says he'll be working closely with the EFCC to ensure that discretion is removed and that there's transparency in the NNPC. He talks about his family, says it's going to be a tough job for them. And pertinent to note, he said, don't give gifts to my family thinking that they can influence me. He says it will not work, and he's very specific about that. Interesting pedigree, has 1 degree, a first degree leading, and he says over 40 people with PhDs. And he said he graduated with a 2-1 from the university in Borno State. In any case, those are some of the words that we're hearing there from the new Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Mr. Mele Kolo Kyari, taking over from the former Group Managing Director, Mr. Mekanti Baru. And that is it from us here at the NNPC Towers in the nation's capital. We'll return you to Lagos for regular programming. I am Kayla Megwa.
You've been watching a live Channels television event.